Down now. Sit down. Okay. Oh gosh. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to episode number 64 of the Chinwag.
Yes.
So it's our first video for a couple of weeks.
It has been. We've enjoyed a nice break, haven't we?
We have. We've had a lovely little break from just generally online. It was kind of nice.
Yeah. We were still working in the background.
We were working a lot, but yeah, we were.
But just taking a break in general. From
exactly.
YouTube.
From YouTube, from Facebook, we kind of backed a bit, and it's been a nice little break, and we got a lot of work done, which is brilliant, and so we are rearing to go with the new year. So welcome everyone to Chinwag number 64.
We're hoping it's number 64.
It is number 64,
and
it's going to be about eBay sales, international shipping, and the year ahead. So thank you everyone for joining us. Loads of people in the chat already, which is incredible. Thank you so much for remembering that we're still here. Wanted to just say quickly, a big thank you for everybody. We had so many lovely comments.
We did.
So many lovely well wishes for Christmas and the new year,
as well,
and it was really heartwarming. So thank you everyone for the kind comments that you left on our reselling pages and on our pages, and thanks to Peter Ray as well.
Peter Ray.
We got like a little Christmas card, which is amazing.
And Nick and Andrea.
Andrea as well, of course. Yeah, we got little gifts from them, which is so sweet.
Nice of them.
It is amazing. And also we have to give a shout out. I'm not sure if they're actually in the chat yet or not. If they're going to turn up at all. But yeah, Steve and Steph.
Yeah. Nick
opened his gift
on the chat, didn't he?
Yeah. And all I'm saying is we started 2017 using this. Right. This was our
this
box
will make
cutter.
You laugh. That was our
rusty.
Box cutter.
Yeah. You actually got this from your old job, didn't you?
I did. Yeah.
This is like company property of like bookers.
Yeah. Probably.
Bookers.
It was probably actually just the staff bringing them in.
And that was it.
Yeah.
And now we have been upgraded. You can see.
Turn it round.
This is the coolest, with a personalised message there.
Yeah.
Zahir and Beck, enjoy your life, or else. This is, of course, the official Resale Killers box cutter.
Yeah, and it's got like a little slider.
Yeah,
I
so
won't do it
you've got the blade and you've got the slider there. How epic is that,
That's
guys?
pretty cool.
See, that is amazing. So massive shout out
thank you to
Steve and Steph for that. I thought that was amazing. Yes. Right, guys, let's say a few hellos.
Yes,
because we've not said.
We haven't done that
yet. Yeah, there's so many people in chat already, which is amazing. We've got 54 people watching right now. We have got quickly. I'm going to have to do a quick scan here. We've got UK Devils. Will you take less? Stu Mandry, Karen's in there as well. Peter Ray. Thanks, Peter, for the card. Shelster Rooney. Oh gosh. Alf, come on. Say, will you take less? Bumcrack Picker is in there as well. These guys were in there chatting for a while.
They were.
Epic. So cool. Derek Payne, Chris Cords, Roy Foden. There's some new names there. Callum Tucker says hi as well. Oh god, yeah. I don't want to miss anyone out. Stephen Moore. Indie Chick, yeah. Carol Doherty, Phoebe, Heather, Stephen Bennett, Jay and Callum have joined. Yes, Beck's loving the hair. So
thank you.
You got that today, didn't you?
I did, yeah. I got it cut today, yeah.
Steve as well. Hi guys, can you say hello? Lacey, first time watcher. Hi Lacey.
Hi Lacey.
Fantastic. Hi Steve. Richard Payne we've already said. Indie Chick I think we've said as well. Darren's in the chat as well, which is brilliant. John Breddy. We did say UK Devils, I'm pretty sure. Jane Callum, you're looking really healthy too, Z. All the walking ones, we think you're good. Thank you.
Yeah,
appreciate
we've still been walking, haven't we?
Yeah, we've been walking a lot, so it's
even in the pouring rain, which isn't fun.
Yes, it's been crazy.
Yeah.
Happy New Year, everyone from freezing southwest France, says French Fancies. Oh, Nick's in the chat as well. Barry Francis, that knife looks like it's wearing spurs. Lol. Z, we've been chatting an hour before you went live.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Kirsten says, evening, love your hair, Bex. Oh, you're getting a lot of hair compliments. Yeah.
Thank you.
You liking the hair?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it. It's a lot shorter.
It's a lot shorter.
I like it.
Dave's in the chat as well. Dave Rowland has made it in. Hi, Dave.
Hello, Dave.
Yeah, loads of people. Yeah, so thank you everybody for joining us.
And it's nice to be back.
We're feeling quite good about being back.
We've actually planned this.
Yeah, we're all planned.
That's how much we were looking forward to this.
Yes,
we
sat down.
What? It must have been about 6 o'clock-ish, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. About 6-ish, and we.
Because we've been talking throughout the day what we wanted to talk about today.
Yeah.
Didn't we?
Yeah, because we've been.
But then we actually sat down and we were like, right, we better put this on paper, otherwise,
Yeah.
we'll just forget bits.
Or love to Alfie, says Carol.
Oh yeah, he's having a nap on your lap now.
Yeah,
isn't
he is. Yeah, he is. He's
resting his head on the desk.
There you go. That's how Alfie is chilling. There you go. So, right, guys. Polashek says only one self. Oh no, Indie Chick says only one self. To Polashek. Ups and downs with sales, isn't it, as usual?
Yeah.
Righty then. Looking amazing, both of you, says Carol. Pretty cool, thank you. Z has shrunk, or he's further away from the camera. We're further away than usual.
Far away.
But it's because we've got like the heater underneath.
Yeah.
We're trying to get the mic in between.
Yeah.
And we've got the dog on the lap.
Yeah.
And so he's just he's just not.
Yeah.
He's a lap dog, but he's not really the size of a lap dog. He just doesn't.
He doesn't take no for an answer either, does he?
No, he doesn't.
Even when we try and say to him, no.
We'll give one more little. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Before, he was actually trying to sit across both of our laps.
Yeah, which he doesn't seem to understand the size issue here. Yeah. But it's one of those things.
He thinks he's smaller than he is.
Yeah, he thinks he's much smaller, but he's not. Right, Derek Payne as well. Alfie is a leg, says Peter Ray. Julie says, hi, we're watching from my break from work. And Brian has joined us, Electronic Firing Squad. And Jason Entwistle, thanks Jason, really appreciate the £2 super chat for New Year's treats for Alfie.
We'll make sure he gets
He's been treated today as well from Nick and Andrew. He's got.
Did you tell Nick and Andrew about
I
his
did.
toy?
I sent them a photo of the toy. He bit the top of. Monty does the same.
Do you know
like
what?
seconds.
It didn't take him long. He had it for about 5 minutes, and that was it. The
chew
head
toys.
was off. Yeah.
Chew toys and dogs. Once they stop squeaking, then they lose interest.
I mean, we bought him like a platypus, didn't we?
He tore that up, didn't he?
And it was like this little squeaky thing, and he broke that within probably about a week, I think.
Barry says, I thought that bag behind you had eyes, then realised that there is a Wally toy
there.
As well. Yeah, guys, that Wally is actually a bolo. That particular Wally, if you see it out in the wild, it doesn't actually transform into a cube. It doesn't actually do that. It comes with a remote control normally, and it's called the U Command Wally, I think. And if you check the prices for U Command Wally on eBay, you will see that you can fetch £100 plus, and depending on the condition, you could probably get even more. They're very they're quite sought after.
Yeah.
This one's got like battery acid leak, no battery, and his eyes don't light up. He works because I got the battery compartment cleaned up as I could. However, his eyes don't light up, and I've not got the remote. And even at £35, I'm still getting 6 watches, and I'm sure it'll probably sell for around that. Okay. So pretty happy with that. Oh wow, Daniel Gitaru has just super chatted £5. First Chinwag of 2018. Thank you very much. Hi ho, hope everyone is busy and back on the hustle. Fried chicken fund. Really appreciate it, guys. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
It's super kind of you, Daniel. Humbled. We're not obviously expecting super chats, but like we're like really it's just brilliant to be back. Actually,
Yeah,
I'm feeling really
is.
buzzy.
It's really nice.
It's feeling really
It's
buzzy.
really nice to be back. Shall we get on with how our sales have been?
Megapixels in there as well. Speed Tap Collectibles says hello from somewhere sunny in the US. I think it was. I need to check. I saw it and I was like, I wanted to read that out because I love reading out different places. Hello from California. That's of course I thought it was on. High Speed Tap from California, and everyone. All right, guys, we've now got 86 people watching, or UK Devil says 90 watching. Louise says hair is looking good. Thanks, Louise. Appreciate it. See. All right, before we get into the sales, I want to say one thing. Right, I don't know.
It's like it's flat at the back.
Yeah, my hair looks...
and then it does like this little tufty up bit.
I think it's the way I'm sleeping, but it looks.
But you're
like
not even styling it like this, and it's
no,
just going.
I've got like
that.
a flat head at the back, and it looks really odd.
No, it looks good.
But right, guys. Speed Trap says California. Okay, we're gonna get on to. Oh my god, there we go. We're just about to get on to the business end of things, and Brian, Electronic Firing Squad, don't know what to say. Thank you so much for a $10 super chat. When will you come clean and admit to these fine people that you weren't actually taking a break at all? Those VIP paid member only videos were great, by the way. Loved the Z Does KFC. Well, Brian, I'm glad you enjoyed the content. No, there was before any rumours get wildly out of hand. Yeah. There was no members only.
No,
content.
there were no.
There was no.
Unless you count like your like little game streams that you've been going.
I did a couple of little game streams on my other channel, but they were lame. They were just me playing video games. That was it. I was just playing video. I got back into my love of video games. I'm so happy about that. That was one of the cool things about. Taking some time out at Christmas was I haven't played video games in ages, and I got back into playing a bit of on my PC, and I'm really happy about that. So that was the only content. But there we go. Barry says I need to shave the hair again.
It started to get a bit long, but you said
Polish Check says I'm so happy that reselling / YouTube world is becoming now more switched on and trying to cut off any pink false fact just to be transparent, and not over sugaring the reselling hustle. Yeah, people are quite honest, I think, in the main. And Retro Vintage has super chatted £2 and says hello from sunny Kent. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Z looks like a Lego man, says Nick. Yeah, with the flat back. Okay.
Right. Should we get on?
We're already 12 minutes in, guys. Yeah. 12 minutes in, and we've not given you any real content.
No, so we're going to start.
Yeah, so we're going to start. Yeah, guys, right.
Okay.
We are here to give some reselling talk, and not just reselling talk, but just general how we're doing talk, right? This is what it's about. It's more about, we want to share how our YouTube and through YouTube how our reselling journey or self-employment journey in general is going, right?
Yeah.
So, Andrew's just come in and says your hair looks lovely as well.
Oh,
Did someone mention members only videos? Asked David. No, Dave, there are no members only videos. That was Brian taking the mic, and there was no Z Does KFC video. No. I was just putting it out there. As much as I appreciate the super chat, Brian, you can't get away with cheeky. All right. Okay, guys.
Right, shall we get on?
We are going to get on. We're going to talk about sales. Oh, and now Steve's joining in now, isn't he? Yeah, Dave, don't you get it? Oh, God. Oh, what's going on here? Some sales. Oh, I was just had a retraction. Oh, okay, no worries. Someone offered and then they retracted because I'm getting it. Okay, anyway.
That's fine.
That's fine. Right. This is the situation, guys. We're going to talk about our sales and how they have been going. Yes. And we're going to share something that's pretty cool that we've started using on the PayPal website. Yeah. Which we think...
You've used it more than me.
But you get the idea.
Yeah.
I think you'd be capable of using it, right? So...
You kind of shown me it, and I'm like, yeah, I really like that.
You like it, yeah, exactly. Right. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually go over to the PayPal website and share with you guys what we've sold over the past 7 days. So how our beginning of January and end of December, I suppose, has been. And it's been really decent for us, guys. I will say one thing. Our last video on YouTube was on the 19th of December, and then we didn't really do anything until Christmas, so we had like all that time off. And then literally, I think Boxing Day onwards, we really got back to work. There were a number of reasons for it. We just wanted to be busy.
Yep.
And it really was fantastic to get back to work. It was a heads down situation. We're up here on our own. So 26 Boxing Day came. We were like just fantastic. We were fantastic.
Yeah. I mean, we had Christmas Day with the girls.
Yeah.
And just enjoyed having time, like family time, with them. And then Boxing Day, we just got straight back to work.
Yeah, and we worked pretty solidly. I think this week is the first time where we've backed off a teeny bit, where we've had a couple of days with no listing,
or a couple of afternoons where we didn't do a great deal.
Yeah. So exactly. What I'm going to do then is just switch over to the other page, and then we will just
there we go.
Yeah, let's just switch over. Bam, here we go. So this is there's a couple of things we want to share with you here. Obviously we're going to talk about the sales, but then we're going to talk about this actual page on PayPal, which we think is really fantastic. So our last 7 days we have done £1,800, just a pound over £1,800 in sales, which is really good. We're very happy with that, and it's been really nice to see our turnover increasing.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it has come in correlation with us doing a lot more quantity of listings in one go, whereas we used to think doing 10 or 20 listings a day was enough. During that period from Boxing Day, we quite high numbers.
40
for us anyway.
to 45 a day, I think it was. Between that time.
40 listings a day, 45 listings a day. We were like, it did transfer. Now we did have quite a low patch the week before Christmas, so we do want to mention that if we'd made a video for that week, our turnover was very low. I think it was about 300-400 quid or something. It just dropped,
just under 300 that week.
It just dropped. And then obviously we kind of expected that to happen, because we'd had a really good start to December. Then we had that period just before Christmas where it just went nosedived, the sales.
The week before Christmas it just went really, really quiet, and we turned over about just under 300, I think it was that week.
And then so we got back to it. Like I said, we were doing like 40 plus listings a day, and our turnovers hit like 1,800. And what I like about this is on the PayPal page. If you have a PayPal business account and you click the reports button at the top, I'm just mousing over it. I don't know if you'll be able to see the mouse or not.
I don't know if it's going to show.
But
you can see it on the top thing. You can't see the mouse. But you can see it.
When you press reports, it will take you to this insights, which is here on the left, and it's in beta at the moment. And what's nice about it is you can choose different time frames, so you can actually choose the past 7 days, 30 days, 60, 90. You can even go for the year 2018 in total, the year 2017 in total. We're just doing our last 7 days here, and you can see it's 1,800 sales, 83 transactions, which is up a lot from last year. And our average selling price is £22. It's down from last year, but we sold a lot more quantity. And what's nice is with this page, you get a really quick look at your current versus your last year, which I think is nice. So you can see that on the 30th of December last year, in 2016, we did £110 with 7 transactions. This year it's 350 with 13. Then the 31st was like on the nose. Then January, you can see, was pretty close as well. You can see the difference in January was quite, a lot more transactions this year for us, but we still made only a little bit more. And then you can start seeing patterns, can't you? Like there's patterns in how it dips this and last year, but then there's the odd one where, for example, the 3rd of January, clearly we had 6 sales last year for £109, and then this year we've had 16 sales for £422. So huge difference.
Massive difference.
So I really like that that fact. So it's a very quick way of judging how you're doing versus last year. And like I said, you can do this 7 days, 30, 60, and then you can do it yearly as well.
Yeah.
So I really like that.
I just wanted to stop you for a
Sure,
second.
sure.
Lisa's come into the chat, so hi Lisa.
Hi Lisa, how are you doing? Yeah. Let's go back into the chat quickly, just generally as well. It's a really nice page to look at. I find it's really informative, and there's a couple more bits I'm going to share with you guys. We'll go into it, and do that as well. Some lovely comments coming in, really appreciate them. Dave was asking how many bitcoins for the secret videos, and Brian says it's actually KFC bucks. Not talking about those Japanese rubbers or whatever that is.
No.
Wow. Megapixel says my favourite items from Oxfam today were 2 brand new boxed megaphones. That is quite a cool pickup, actually. Shel Saruni says £22 is a good average sale price. So thank you very much. Appreciate it. We've listed a lot and we're pretty pleased.
Yeah, we've fallen off it a bit this week, but we'll get back to it. So
yeah. Megapix says, may the general public continue to be too snobby to frequent my local charity shops. It's graft, but it's it's worth going, isn't it? And you can do whatever period you want by customizing in the calendar part. Okay. Alright, let's just scroll down a bit. My average price is up on last year. I want to get up high still. Deathpile asks, does the PayPal for Business cost you? No, PayPal for Business doesn't cost you anything to use. In fact, it opens things up, doesn't it? It allows you to get merchant rates. If you guys don't know, if you're consistently taking over £1,500 a month, you can actually apply to PayPal to give you reduced merchant rates. So rather than paying 3.2%, it drops down to like 2.9%. So that's quite big. I think it's 2.9, or it drops. It might even just drop to 3.1. I'm not sure, but it's definitely a drop.
Yeah, there is a significant drop.
Yeah, and but you don't get that merchant rate unless you actually go to them and say, hey, I want the preferential rate because I'm taking this much money every month. But you've got to have a business account for that. A business account also allows you to get access to the working capital, which has been huge for us this year. That's been massive, hasn't it? I mean,
it has, yeah.
So that's one thing. Right, a lot of comments. Anything you want to touch on there, or Z, do you know if there's any way to track stock value versus last year on eBay? Al, I'm not sure about that. I don't know. I think that's something you're gonna have to just somehow keep track of yourself. Just with your.
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a record of that.
Yeah. Westgate Primary, what percentage of your sales are your RC parts here? Probably the majority now.
The majority of them at the moment,
probably the majority.
It's very rare that we're selling something not RC.
We're going to touch on our sourcing later on in the chat. We're planning on doing that. So, all right, now what we're going to do is I'm going to take you back to the screen because I just wanted to share one other thing with you guys, and that's to do with the second part of our title, which is international sales. Yes. So let's just go back to the browser. So now on the same page, on the Insights page, if you scroll down, PayPal are also kind enough to tell you your breakdown of sales.
Yeah.
What did you think when you saw that?
I was pretty impressed, actually.
Impressed or surprised, or what's the...
Bit of both.
Yeah.
Surprised that we... No, actually, not that surprised that we sell a lot overseas. But I suppose I was kind of surprised to see like the percentage.
It makes a huge difference, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Seeing the numbers. This Insights page is really nice because it breaks down for you guys how much you sell overseas.
Yeah.
Now, as you can see, over the past 7 days, on our sales, so we've got in total £1,800 of sales, you can see there for 7 days, and then if I look at sales by region over the past 7 days, you can see that 60% of our sales were to the UK, 40% were international. That's humongous, isn't it?
It is.
So I mean, I can apologise for the snoring.
The snoring is
Yeah.
decided.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you think about it, you know, it's, if you think about it, domestic sales were 1,078, international 723. Imagine if I wasn't offering international shipping. The reason why I wanted to talk about this was because if you're not offering international shipping, you really must do that.
Yeah.
It's absolutely huge. You know, just to give you guys an example, we checked our figures for the whole of 2017, and it's actually 65-35. So this isn't too different from our whole. And what I will say is, we didn't switch to doing our own international shipping last year until August, September.
When we had the RC parts, that's when we reassessed our postage things.
Yeah, because up till then we were GSP, Global Shipping Program. Polish X says lovely snoring. Alf, you're snoring, ruining them.
Stop it.
No, he's not
Stop it.
He's a snorer. And it, you know, if you think about it, we did GSP for the majority of the year, and you know, since switching to our own, it's shot up even more. Lisa says your volume is low tonight. I thought it was quite loud.
We came on, and it was really loud.
Yeah, I thought the volume was super loud. Yeah. Let me know, guys, if what's the what the audio.
Because I don't want to fiddle with that thing over there.
Yeah,
so.
I think it's fine, to be honest. I think it's fine. It should be fine. I'll crank it up a bit more, but I don't want to be too super loud.
Yeah.
But you know, I know some people come into the chat group and they ask whether they should sell internationally at all. Now, if you're not selling internationally, think how much money you could be losing out on.
Yeah.
It's huge. And then, you know, at least, at the very, very least, you should be doing global shipping program.
Yeah.
Don't you think? At the very, very least, you should be on the global shipping program. You know, like I said, like 60-40 is just over 7 days, but over the whole of 2017, it was 65-35. So it's still huge. So 65% we sold in the UK, 35% we sold abroad.
Yeah, absolutely.
It is massive. So if you're not doing that, if you're not offering international shipping, or if you're not offering competitive international shipping, because we found that with all these radio control car parts, you kind of have to be a bit competitive at least. You know? So,
I mean, some of them we're having to, you know, because we've got like little screws and stuff like that, and they're some of them are just priced at $3.99, but then when they're going overseas with our postage, because we do like a standard rate on our postage, which is $8.99, I think. Yeah. We have like a standard international postage rate, and that's, we say it's economy, but normally we'll send it tracked. And a lot of it is large letter, isn't it?
We send a lot of large letter and small
when
parcel.
It comes to CRC stuff, so it's
I mean, if you're daunted by this, just know this: if you're sending small parcel and it's under 500 grams, it's going to be around the £8 to £10 mark, no matter what European country you send it to. To be honest, no matter what mainland, no matter what country, £8 to £10 is pretty much going to cover you. You know, you can send stuff to pretty much anywhere. If it's under 500 grams as a small parcel for between £8 to £12 tops. So if you've got that kind of factored in, you can offer a flat rate, and you know, it is a huge difference. Imagine if we didn't have, you know, that percentage. And if you scroll down, I just wanted to echo Polashek's comment in the chat. Let me see. Polashek says, I sell lots to Italy. Each week something goes there. Now, that's an interesting comment in two senses, isn't it? Because Italy's often described as, like, people sometimes will not ship to Italy. Like that, even if they ship internationally, they'll on purposely not ship to Italy. And you could be really hurting yourself like that. As you can see, last year again, Italy was actually our second most shipped to country, and then I think it was France. So you can see that even though a year's data is obviously going to be better than 7 days, 7 days data is actually eerily similar to our year's data.
Yeah.
The kind of things you can see. So for example, in 1 week we have sold to Finland, New Zealand, Ireland, Canada, Spain, Germany, China, Italy, France, UK, and all of those guys, every single one of those was shipped using our own shipping, basically.
It was.
I don't think we use GSP now for pretty much anything, so it's just something to bear in mind. I mean, it was quite eye-opening. It's quite eye-opening, and I do feel that if you do your own shipping, that percentage will increase, but at the very least you should do GSP. Right, Indie Chick says 26% of mine are overseas. Speed Trap says, I've never used GSP, I prefer to control what I ship. I agree with you, Speed Trap. We used to be GSP.
Yeah, and we've...
Yeah.
Well, I still do it on the second store.
Yeah.
But on the main store, we don't.
Yeah.
Now we don't do GSP.
Yeah.
Now.
Everyone says volume's good, apart from Richard Hale said it was a little quiet. Darren says 27% international, all my own shipping, not GSP. Yeah. See. GSP for me last year was all of 4%, says Karen. See, it pays to look into it, Karen. It does pay to look into it, because you can often ship cheaper, but you can also do things that you can't with GSP. So for example, combining the shipping.
Apparently you can do that.
I think you can, only if the buyer does the right things. Whereas you can still, if the buyer doesn't buy it correctly, like all in one basket, then stuff like that. I mean, I just think it's important. And plus it gets there so much quicker. So your customers, and you know what, touch wood, we've really not, considering how much we've shipped internationally, we've had zero issues with international sales. We've even had 2 people refund, and they've returned items at their own cost to us, which is more than I can say for people that are customers in the UK, where we end up having to pay return postage more often than not. So there we go. Louise says, I can't see why someone wouldn't offer GSP. The reasons for not offering GSP, Louise, I mean, some categories won't work on global shipping, but also the reasons are competitiveness, right? Imagine you're selling something that's low value, maybe under a £10 item, but it's got a big market abroad. If you're sending via GSP, it could be costing more than the item itself. So you can somewhat control the shipping cost with your own shipping, can't you? So
yeah, you can.
You can. It can be a lot cheaper, I think. Saying that, we send everything abroad tracked, and we are charging customers more than a lot more. But the other side of it is this better service for the customer. When you sell something via GSP, think about it. It's not very good service, because they're paying a lot of money and then they're having to wait.
Yeah,
they're waiting.
Quite often there's a lot of confusion because with
this happened a couple of times. Yeah, go on. Yeah.
With eBay sending out a notification saying it's been delivered, but it hasn't been delivered. All it's done is reach the GSP warehouse.
Yeah.
And then the customer then gets in contact and says, I haven't received it. It says it's been delivered, and all that's happened is it's just at the warehouse waiting to be shipped to
Which
them.
is not good service, because it automatically puts the customer in like a worried place, doesn't it? Whereas when you're sending it yourself, these things are getting there so quick.
Yeah.
You because you're going to be sending tracked and signed. Most of the stuff I'm selling, and small parcel, like large letter, small parcel stuff, I'm sending to Europe via tracked and signed. It costs normally, like I said, around, the average is about £8 spend, and I charge international shipping. So even though I offer free domestic shipping, 40% of my sales have got charged shipping on them because they're going abroad.
Yeah.
And £8 tends to cover, £8 tends to cover a lot of the countries.
Yeah,
so
it does.
It's quiet here unless I'm going deaf, says bum crack picker. I don't know. We'll move the mic closer up, maybe.
Yeah, maybe just move the mic.
We'll move the mic a bit this way. I hope that's a bit better, guys. French Fancy says, I do my own international shipping, cheaper than GSP. So yeah, that's fair enough. Playmobil castle that sells for 70-80 here in the UK, but sold the same castle for 150 GSP to America. UK Devils, you make a great point. We are selling things that probably won't have a great deal of value here to abroad, aren't we?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, like some of the RC parts or whatever, it's, you know, you find that things that necessarily won't pick up a good amount here. I mean, you found that with the scarves and things as well, didn't you? Certain styles and things, people pay more, don't they?
They do.
People pay more, basically.
And some of the costume jewellery as well, because I've had some of that go to, is it Germany, I think?
And you find people paid a bit more than,
Yeah.
Well, they'll pay shipping on top and whatever, and exactly. Nick and Z, how often do you spend on the chat? I'm not sure what you mean by Peter, but
Do you mean on the Facebook group or?
Oh, how often? We go on there quite regularly. It's been a bit. I'll be honest. I've not been on it a massive amount recently, but going forward, I'll probably be on there a lot more. Because we had, like I said, we had a little break from. Megapixel always finds his volume a little low, but at the same time very clear. Eventually, we're going to get 2 mics, so then I
think that might be the problem, because this is actually,
if I have the mic near my mouth, it will sound much louder and whatnot. It will change the sound quite a bit. Whereas then, if we have it,
and they get to see like the nice sound of your voice.
The nice sound. There's no nice sound in my voice.
No, there is.
Oh, you're just being sweet. No. Right. Okay, let's just go down a few more of the comments. Let's see what people are saying about the shipping situation. Bloody hell, so many comments. Fantastic. I'm humbled. I'm mega humbled by this. This is crazy. We've got 100 people watching. Jane Callum said they have to go. That's fine. But thanks for popping in.
Thank you for joining us.
Okay.
He's decided he needs to move.
Okay. Richard Howe says, I only use GSP and I didn't use that till I watched your vids. Thanks, Z, as I do get a lot of sales from it. Fantastic. Alia has joined us as well. What up, guys? I'm late. You're not late, Alia. It's fine. Right. But it's customers, you wouldn't have it. You didn't have it switched on, so it doesn't matter. Okay. But it's customers you wouldn't have if you didn't have it switched on, so that doesn't matter. Yes, it's always good. Yeah, you wouldn't have those customers if you didn't have GSP. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Okay, looking forward to catching up later, says Jane Callum. Fantastic. Z, you always send track to Europe. Yes. We send all of our stuff to Europe tracks because we charge. We've got postage policy set up. I think they're $8.99.
I think it's $8.99.
Yeah. So we charge.
We do free shipping in the UK.
Yeah.
And that generally we don't send tracked.
Yeah. Free shipping in the UK. Well, it depends.
It depends what it is.
Yeah. If it's over a certain amount, we send it tracked. If it's under, we don't. But the stuff that goes to Europe, because we charge like £9 shipping anyway, we do combine shipping, so it encourages people to buy more from us, and we will combine the shipping. But yeah, we offer tracked basically, because we want that safety of it reaching there, and people are willing to pay for it. Yeah, I send a bunch to Italy. All have been great, says Darren. Okay. When I sold art, I refused to send to France. They all used to scam me. It's a bit general, Louise, to be honest. You know, it's you know, it's just a bit of a strange. You can't say that the whole country is like that. You may have had bad experiences, and I completely feel for you for that. You know, no one wants to have that.
Sorry,
that's right. Okay.
Uncomfortable.
What's the success rate, Z, compared to the return rate for last year, says Peter. I'm not sure what you mean. I'm not sure what you mean by that, but the returns are not over the top at all.
Yeah, how much do you get returned?
Not much, nothing. International, we've had like 2 returns, and they paid for returns, but everything else was fine. Jason says, got to go, buy all the best. Request from Lisa Fenn, can everyone send a hug to Karin? She could really use hugs right now. Digital hugs on their way to Karin. I hope all is well there. Kirsten says, I just sold to Japan and China this week on Etsy. Had to get my son to print out labels because there was no way I could write them out. Yeah, I mean, it's with shipping to countries outside the EU, the only thing that you have to worry, we don't even have to worry. We use PayPal to ship. Whenever I've got an international sale, we find the sale on PayPal and then click the send button, and then it gives us the options to ship with Royal Mail. That's what we do. So we mostly use Royal Mail for our international shipping.
Yeah.
And if the country that we're shipping to is outside of the EU, it automatically will print out or it will ask you to fill in the details for what's called a CN22. Was it a customs thing, isn't it?
Yes, customs.
Yeah, it's called a CN22, and but it prints that, it asks you to fill it out. It's very simple. It'll ask you to fill out what the item is. So you just put, one model car, model part, whatever, how much it weighs, the country of origin it was made in, and that's it. And then it prints out a little square label. It prints it out, and then you cut it out and you stick it on the back. That's all you've got to do for countries that are outside the EU. Otherwise, you don't have to do anything. Yes.
Peter Cummins has a question.
Yeah.
Do you use Hermes for your international postage or Royal Mail?
Mostly Royal Mail.
Mostly Royal Mail, but on some occasions, if Hermes are cheaper, we would go through Hermes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we've used Hermes, and we've not had any issue. Derek says, issue I have with posting myself is the high price of postage, and if you get a fraudulent item not described claim, you lose that outgoing postage. There are going to be downsides on there, but whatever downsides you reach, think about that percentage again. This week, 40% of our sales came from Europe. Whatever the downsides are, they can't be greater than that upside of 40% of our sales. That's nearly half. I'm not gonna cut off half.
It works out at about 720.
720 odd quid.
Pounds of our turnover this week.
It's huge. And guys, if you're selling on eBay and you're not selling internationally, it's kind of like owning a Ferrari and never getting out of first gear. It's like you wouldn't do that. You wouldn't do that. It's like you're selling on.
You wouldn't do that. Maybe I would.
Well, stay in first gear.
But that's just me.
But so I just feel that it's one of the most I'd say it's one of the most strong parts of eBay, isn't it? The fact that you can reach so many countries, but you can only reach them if you offer that international shipping and take that chance. Speedtrap says GSP here in the States repacks and reduces the protection of the item, and it causes more problems with damaged items being received. I've heard about that. I don't know whether that's a practice here, but
we're not 100% sure. I know we did.
We've had a
couple of items that,
but they did look like they were still in our packaging. The photos that people sent us for damaged items by GSP
look like they were still in our packaging.
But I've heard that people have in the past done the same thing. They've asked customers for photographs of the packaging of a damaged item received, and the packaging is not the same as they sent it in. Right. Sometimes GSP excludes the country that want to buy from me, lol, says Alia. Yep, definitely. Right. Parcels larger than 2 kg have always been cheaper via GSP for my international sales. Southwest sellers, that's a very good point. And I should mention that we're talking about, most of the stuff we're talking about is under 500 grams, let alone.
It's not, I think I mentioned it before, but a lot of our stuff is large letter or a small parcel at a push. For the heavier items, like the 2 kilo plus items, then you're right, GSP will often be significantly better value. So actually that's something we should have pointed out earlier, I think. So my apologies for not pointing that out, but we're talking about the really the the small items, large letter, small parcel, typically well under a kilo, even not even going to the 2
2 kilo max. So that's just something to bear in mind.
Yes.
You know, we found that. Right, okay, let's have a look at the chat. Wow. Oh, George Downton, I assume you tried handing it into the police, Nick. What's going on there?
I don't know.
I don't know. What's Nick meant to have handed into the police? What have we missed? I sold a broken watch I found in the street today for £10. Oh, there we go. There we go. Oh god. Alright.
Oh no.
Nick's getting himself in all kinds of there. Meanwhile, the homeless person is searching the street for his beloved watch, says indie chick. Oh. Oh gosh. Happily sending to France now. Maybe it was just French art collectors, says Louise.
Okay.
It could well be.
Yeah, I suppose it depends on the item as well, because like on the second store, when I send stuff to France and to Germany, I don't generally send it tracked.
And you've
like
had
when
zero.
When I've done like my scarves and things like that, I don't send it tracked. And I suppose it depends on the item that you're selling.
Been zero issues, hasn't it?
Yeah, I haven't.
Yeah, I mean, I think there are so many variables when you think about it. Like what you sell does have an impact. I mean, you're more likely to meet trouble with certain items more than others. Like, you know, for example, the ones that pop to mind are mobile phones. You know, small electronics, video games. They're more likely to cause a bit of hassle.
I can't say if we were doing like mainly video games that
how we would feel. So it's one of those situations that you have to kind of just think about. You know, it's Nick says also question from Stephen Bennett. Question: what was the best thing you bought for yourself in 2017? For ourselves, probably my RC car. I love my RC car, my Kyosho. I've grown to like it. Yeah. We can't count Alfie because he was free.
Yeah, because we adopted him, didn't we? So we can't count Alfie.
But you? Fitbit?
Yeah, probably the Fitbit.
Yeah, that was a bargain, wasn't it? 40 quid.
Fitbit,
Nick says, I agree that for smaller stuff it makes perfect sense to offer your own shipping. I shipped a 12 kilo box of books to Australia and GSB and only paid £15. Yeah, which is the buyer only paid £15.
Yeah, what did you have to ship the other day? And you were like, I wish I was back just shipping like the small stuff.
I don't know. I've gotten used to shipping small stuff.
Was it the coffee grinder or?
No, it couldn't have been. I don't know.
I can't remember.
I think it was. Oh no, we had that CD player in the RC car.
Oh, yeah. And you were just like, CD. I want to go back to the small stuff.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna move on to our final topic, which is kind of like about the year ahead and like how we're gonna attack this year, versus and what we've learned. Now, we're gonna talk first about sourcing. And the whole idea about sourcing daily. I mean, do you want to touch on that? I'm going to have a quick sip of lemonade.
Okay. Yeah. So we haven't been sourcing in the last 5 months, apart from that one boot sale that we went to because you were sick and tired of the RC haul. Yeah. So last 5 months we haven't been sourcing at all.
So get that, guys, just to clarify. 5 months. Oh, I just
did you go that close?
Don't know.
Someone's going to think you're shouting at him now.
5 months, guys. Yeah, we've not sourced.
No, we haven't.
We went once.
Yeah, and that was because you were just desperate to go out.
Yeah, I was desperate to get out. And we managed to get really lucky. And
we didn't need to.
No.
And we still don't need to.
Yeah.
So we're kind of staying away from boot sales and charity shops right now because we don't need to source right now.
We didn't. We went that one time and we got lucky and we found like £300 tour jacket.
Yeah.
So we were really lucky that the one time we've gone sourcing in 5 months, we got so lucky and we found a £300 fine. But we didn't even need to go then. And we've not been since. We've not been to charity shops to buy. We've not been to car boots to buy. Now, what we want to talk about, guys, is how you source. It really can impact. When we first moved up here, we tried to seriously Shell Saruni, yeah, seriously, we bought, we have not done any sourcing.
No, now our figures are mainly coming from
the
this
haul.
RC haul.
Yeah.
I can't remember what you said it was at the other day.
We've now turned over £7,000 out of the RC stuff. Now, yeah, we had a huge RC haul. We spent £3,300 odd pounds. We've got a video about it on our channel. We bought that in August. No, it was August. Yeah, because the first sale was in September, wasn't it?
Yeah,
1st of September we started listing it.
It was end of August.
End of August, right at the end of August. Yeah. So we that was when we bought this haul of stuff. Now this haul, it took a lot of hard work to find it, to get it all up here, to organize it. There was a lot of work involved up front.
And initially you were actually dealing with it on your own, which was one of the reasons why you were getting really frustrated with it, because you were getting overwhelmed with it. You even, I think on one of our Chinwags, you were just like, I just want it gone.
Yeah.
I've had enough.
Yeah.
But since both of us working on it together, we've come up with a really nice little system that's working well.
Yeah.
It means we're getting through the listings really quickly.
Yeah.
And
it goes to show that you don't have to be out sourcing every day.
Yeah.
You don't. At the end of the day, you've got to be prepared to work hard. Now, you either work hard every day, or you put all that work in, like the leg work beforehand. So for example, if you're going to go out every day for an hour or two sourcing, you could just put all that effort in and potentially, I mean, I'm not saying this is going to be doable for us even, but this is what we're going to try to do anyway. Okay.
Yeah.
We have found that buying in huge lots is the most efficient way of working on eBay. The stress levels just drop because we don't have to worry about, like, when we first moved up here. Okay, where you live, this is what I'm going to say, where you live can have a big impact on how you source, right? Some of you guys will be happy to go out and pick up stuff from the car boots and charity shops because there will be an abundance of it. We found when we moved up here, we didn't find the same kind of stuff that we were finding when we were down south. When we were down south, I loved going to the car boots. I loved going to the charity shops because I would find the coolest stuff, right? Same with auctions as well. We moved up here and it really hit us hard that we couldn't find the same kind of stuff. I couldn't find the same kind of stuff. That's not to say it's not here, but I just couldn't. And we have found this year that buying in big hauls and job lots is hugely efficient. We don't have to have that worry now where we used to go and we used to get up on a Saturday and a Sunday and we'd be like, hopefully we'll get some really cool stuff. And there's no guarantee of it.
And it is so much pressure when you're in that position. I mean, because we are trying to get a full-time income for both of us. Yeah. From just eBay at the moment, because although we dabble in FBA, it's not nearly enough. Yeah. You know, eBay is by far like our biggest income. So, you know, and when you've got that pressure on you, you've got your monthly costs, you know, just your bills. Yeah. It's a lot of pressure to then be walking around a boot sale going, oh my God, I've got to find something really awesome. Otherwise, you know. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I really do feel that it's a big weight off our shoulders to source in bulk. Yeah. It just makes it so much easier. You can wake up and you know you've got the work there. And it's just efficient. It's so efficient. We have been, since, like I said, 5 months. Since we got this haul of stuff, September onwards, our sales have been better than ever. Yeah. I just wanted to say, Margaret's jumped into the chat, so hi Margaret. Hi Margaret, how are you? Yeah, so it's really hugely, like, you know, it's just been a real game changer, guys. It has. A real game changer. You do have to pay more because obviously you're buying in bulk, so you're going to have to figure out a way of getting hold of the money. We use working capital, PayPal working capital. We found it's been worth its weight in gold. And we've nearly paid it back. We've nearly paid it back, yeah. Within, we borrowed a fair amount. Drop off at the end of this month, isn't it? So which is brilliant.
if it's possible, we would say that's the way to do things. You know, buying in bulk has got a lot of benefits. It just means you're not spending as much time out there looking for stuff. You've got the stuff. It just, I don't know, it just feels the right thing to do for us. And we're gonna try to build on that. We're gonna try to do that again.
I mean, we do want to stick to like the bigger hauls. There are two issues with that. It's actually coming across it in the first place, and obviously making sure we've got the capital to be able to take advantage of it when it comes up. And although you know, we've been saying we won't necessarily be relying on boot sales, that's not to say that we won't go to them. It's just that we're more than likely be a little bit pickier, or just go for the fun of it.
I mean, I think that's the thing. I mean, you it's nice to be able to go, but not relying on it. You know, not to rely on it. I think up here, when we were relying on the boot fairs and the charity shops, we were struggling.
It was hurting us a lot. I mean,
you don't have to go far back to see videos where we were like, guys, our sales weren't very good this week, and and that's because we were relying heavily on boot
sales and charity shops at that point. And it just it was just, not to say it wasn't there, we just weren't finding it.
So you know, it was definitely something to, you know, which has changed our view. Now the thing is, you don't need to find many of these. You know, you don't need to find a lot of these things. You know, you may only need one huge haul that could possibly see you through the year. That would have to be some hell of a haul, but you know, we found, I think over this year we found like 3 hauls, I'd say, which have pretty much meant we've barely had to go out sourcing. And there are some comments which, you know, I think Polish Check says he can't imagine not going out, and
I just read that.
And I think Reseller Mum said 80-20 feels like a nice mix, so you don't get bored. Love to have a look-see about. Definitely, we get that. We completely get that.
You know, but, you know, there was a point, you know, last year that you really just had enough of the haul.
And that's why I went to the charity, to the boot fair. We got,
you know, we all know that it's something you kind of have to do every so often.
It's fun to do, isn't it? I mean, I just feel that doing it in this way has given us a lot of time. It's much more, we found it to be a lot more efficient. Death Pile says, where do you find these bulk buys? And will you take less? Ask, do you think you should be stockpiling now while you're doing the RC stuff in the loft, like Nick, ready for when it's over? Well, it's the method of stockpiling, because we have been thinking about what we're going to do next, and that kind of leads on to Death Pile's question: where do you find these bulk buys? We're going to look all over the country. This lot we got was actually from down south in Croydon.
I mean, we just happened to be down there at the time,
visiting family, and we took a look around.
We were out shopping, and we came across this kind of deal. And and also it just meant, like, I think the deals become more apparent when you've got the access to the cash to buy them. You know, when you've got the cash available, you know that you can get a PayPal working capital loan, or you've got the cash saved up. Suddenly, you know, it opens your mind to, like, oh, do I think I can get a deal here? You know, money talks, as people say, doesn't it? And the thing is, what's really cool about it is, it automatically, it's going to limit your competition. You know, how many people can take advantage of something. Like, the deal we got was mostly down to being able to buy in bulk. You know, it was.
So it just meant that we've had a much easier time, and these figures that we've got are going to keep coming, touch wood, because we've still got so much to work through. And at the same time, we're going to keep an eye out for the next deal if we can. But you know, we're going to try to go for another deal, and see how that works. Let's have a look.
Just Louise's comment.
Is this type of deal the RC lot like finding unicorn poo though? Is it a once in a lifetime thing? See, I don't think it necessarily is.
Well, it was a department closing down.
Yeah.
Within like a shop. They had a number of different things. Some of it we weren't interested in at all,
and some of it we couldn't afford. They had
these really awesome like they had
out of
teddy
our budget
bears and
Stife, Ladro, and then there were separate sections. I mean, places are closing down all the time. I mean, and you could also find auctions which do job lots, and it's more about having the spending power to buy in bulk. But if you look around the country, I'm sure there's always businesses that are shutting and getting rid of their stock. It happens a lot, doesn't it? I mean, lots of people are, people retire every year. They close their businesses down. They want to get rid of the stock. They get fed up. They go out of business. So much happens every year.
Exactly.
It's just what market do you go in, right? It's if you've only ever gone to charity shops and car boots, it will seem like, do these things not turn up because you're not necessarily looking for them? Like, we've only just started looking, and this year we started looking. It was early on in the year where we got an electronics job lot, and that made us start to look, and maybe by coincidence we got this RC job lot. But I'm sure just looking for it, you're more likely to find it. That's how I feel. Right. Wow. Indie chick, I have a local charity. I buy clothes by the sack, says Karen. Yeah, so there's so many ways of doing it, isn't there? Shel Saruni says, I love the interaction with everyone at the car boots. Meet some great characters right on my street. Definitely, that's an attraction of the car boot, and plus the not knowing what you're gonna find is that's the treasure hunt.
We still love car boots, and we generally like to go and have a look for ourselves anyway. So
Speed Trap says, I have so much back stock from buying at thrifts that I had to put my PayPal card in hiding. See that's the thing, is you have to look at it from everyone's perspective, and everyone's situation is going to be different, but this is just like our goals going forward. We have found that this has been fantastic for us. It's meant less stress, less hassle, less having to source, it's been profitable.
Like we said, it's all about whether we can find it. If we can't find it, then we'll be concentrating, because the RC hall is going to be something that kind of runs in the background and keeps going. But then we're going to start needing stuff that we need to list to have the activity
buying collections and things. I'm sure it's not easy, but then again, how easy is it to go to a car boot and get the good stuff? You still have to work super hard to get the good stuff, right, guys? So BCP says, I wonder if there will be such a thing as any shops on the high street in 20 years time. That's such a good point.
A good point.
Completely. Really good point, because it is becoming more and more scarce, and shops are shutting down, and it's just about making hay while the sun shines, I guess. And Mia Cameron Ali says, sometimes there's bulk stock available on Gumtree. Nick says, job lots are epic. They can create a level of stability that you're finding from the RC hall. I hope to find a couple more this year. Always looking. That's the thing. You don't need many. You're only looking for one or two. This is just one, and it has taken us to a different level.
I'm really sorry, Stephen.
I wish to complain about it.
He's gone asleep again.
Guys, actually, we've gone over the time. Look, here's the culprit, guys. Look. Hold on, guys.
It's like, what are you doing?
Beck's got her hot water bottle there.
I do. Yeah.
Are you wearing a good quality foundation tonight? Asks Lisa. You don't look like you're having hot flashes. It's a better webcam, and we've got better lighting.
To me, you actually look quite red though, but I think it's because of the heater.
Yeah, it's probably the heat. We've got a heater going on. My feet are boiling. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. Really, thank you, guys. We've got over 110 people watching, which is this is just insane. Really thank you for joining us. It's been fantastic chatting to you guys. We are going to be making an effort to put out more stuff this year, definitely.
We are.
So Stu says, anyone else disappointed that the dog didn't fart tonight?
I'm not.
We're not disappointed. We're really happy about that.
Get enough of that.
So thank you, everybody. We absolutely appreciate the support, the comments, the goodwill. We will be seeing you guys in our next video, which I'm not sure when we're going to put out, but it's going to be soon.
Yes,
it's going to be soon. I'm going to make sure.
Well, you said something about a sales video anyway, didn't you?
Yeah, I've got to do sales videos and things. I'm going to come up with more of a plan. One. Yeah, we're going to do more of a plan. In the meantime, Nick and Andrea will, I'm sure, be on their chat on Sunday.
Sunday, yeah.
So obviously check those guys out. And then the chat back on Tuesday. So thank you all. Yes. Epic.
Thank
see you
you
later.
for joining us. Bye.
Bye. Yeah, quick bye from one. Oh no, he's gone now.
He's gone.
He's gone now.